What is up, every people of the world? Let me fix my camera here. Camera fixation. Boom. All right. Wooden Tank is here. Renee is here. Therese, Obscure Mysticism Cults. Welcome one, welcome all. And tonight, Jesse is here. My man Jesse, who that song that we just played, which is called Visions of Ecstasy, that song is dedicated to my man Jesse's Device 1974 here on Twitch. And thank you for coming in, everybody. It's great to see you. So Jesse and I used to play in a heavy metal band together, and he is an awesome freaking bass player. I've worked with some really good musicians, and he is probably in like my top 3 of all the bass players I've ever worked with. When I get to that, it's like, who's number 1? I don't even know. And just a very cool guy. Of course, don't see most of my people from back in the day that often now that I'm living out in the middle of nowhere. But Jesse actually did stop in here once when he was out and about doing work stuff. So, yes, thank you all for being here. Monday night, we're just doing a stream. I got done teaching. I'm like, you know what? Streaming time. Let's do this. So, got the tie, and the glasses, and the rings. Start streaming. I like it. That was Arrakis he was in. Yeah, good times. Very good times. So tonight we're playing this album is called Heart 6. It's my 59th album. As I said, that song was called Visions of Ecstasy. And we're going to slow it down here a little bit, get into some A minor type of stuff. And this is, I think, one of my better song titles. Before I actually get to this, I do want to take a look at this camera. This looked a little off. That's not bad. So one of my cameras wasn't working for me. So how are we looking there? I'm still getting things set up with the new everything. It's yeah, that's okay. We need to come up a little bit. So that when I'm on the close-up, it works a little bit. Oh, nope, need to come down a little bit. Thank you for your patience, every people. Still getting the new studio set up. But I'm really digging it with the blacked-in walls. I'm loving it. Still haven't got that window covered up. We'll try that out. We'll see if that works for us. And this next song is called The Night of the Vampire's Forlorn Revolution. And Therese says, I know I've said this before, but this album has an energy that sets itself apart from the rest. That is a very big compliment. Thank you very much for that. That's really cool. Things like that, it's just like, as a musician, I don't know, maybe some people get used to that kind of stuff, but it's just like, that is so cool to hear that people like what I do as a musician. That is a great feeling. So thank you very much for that. And Renee agrees, which is also awesome. And of course, her opinion matters more than most, because she's the most awesome daughter in the world. Because she's my favorite of all my kids. All my one kid. It's a good thing only to have one kid, because then you can play favorites. And no one gets upset. So, thanks, Renee. All right, let's get some more smoke going here. Let's keep the show going. I'm feeling a good energy on this. This is an energetic one to play. Okay, you're off on Mondays. That is good to know. And like I said, I'm going to continue with my normal Friday 2 shows, noon and 8 schedule. And then I'm just going to kind of randomly put more in here and there. For those who may have forgotten or haven't heard, I am doing a stream this Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time, where I'm going to be making Grandma Jill recipe coffee cake, because my mom's coffee cake is awesome. And she's Grandma Jill, not just mom anymore, because she's more of a grandma than a mom these days. And she likes that. So yeah, that is happening on Wednesday at 3 Pacific time. And with that one, I've mentioned this, but I'm going to be playing through the song Faded Age, which is about a 21-minute long piece of mine. And that should be just about enough time to get the coffee cake in the oven, play Faded Age, and have the coffee cake done. And then we can eat the coffee cake. And by we, I mean Sarah and I, because you guys are only going to be watching. Because that's a thing too. All right, so as I've mentioned before, if people were to judge me just based on my song titles, they would probably get a very inaccurate idea of the person that I am. And this is one of those song titles that would give you a very, very inaccurate one. Yes, that's true. Renee, that statement is absolutely true. This song is called The Tides of Sorrow. Now I'm curious here because I've had a problem with a couple of my albums now that my red lights were doing wonky stuff. And I'm just kind of curious now because I don't feel like my lights are working out quite the way they should. If anyone's watching I know that there are red lights on right now. See if any red lights go during the next song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks right. No, you know what? My red lights got. Let me see if I can. Okay. So I'm filling with these lights. I'm gonna see if I can get these rectified. No, I don't know what is going on with that. That is weird. Okay, so the lights in back should be working, but some of the front light, so I'm gonna have to fix these as well. I'm gonna have to go through all my shows and check out. I don't know what is doing that. It is really, really wonky. And it's been the red ones all 3 times. So anyway, I will have to look at that later and see what's going on. I don't understand it. The Mad Poet does not understand, but we can still play music. Slow it down a touch here. Okay, well, red lights are weird. That we know. This is a myth of silence. yeah, I like. I agree with that. I like to have my albums kind of have a bit of an ebb and a flow. I think some bands make the mistake of coming out and just doing 100% all the time, and that's not the way to do it. You need to slow down. You need to speed up. You need to have some high paced stuff and some medium paced stuff. And if you're doing lyrical content, have some sad songs, have some mean songs, have some happy songs. Have some songs where you feel sad about how mean you were to someone, but then have a song about how happy you were to be mean to someone. It's fun. It's fun. If anyone might be coming in a little late here, we're just doing an impromptu show tonight. I normally do shows on Friday at noon and 8 p.m. in the Pacific time zone. I go by the Mad Poet online. You are an audience, whether you're online or not. And we are the Mad Poet Society, whether we like it or not, because that's what we do here. We play music, we talk about stuff, we have a good time. I have a good time. Hopefully you guys are having a good time as well. Right now we are playing my 59th album. It is called Hard 6. And in fact, last time I did this album, I did a trivia thing. The first person who could tell me where Hard 6 came from won a CD, and that person was Obscure Mysticism Cults, who was talking with us earlier in chat, and sent out, I believe Finite Reality was the CD I ended up sending out to him. So yeah, I need to do some more CD giveaways one of these days. I need to come up with some more questions for that kind of stuff. Great album name, Hard 6, yeah. Yeah, Obscure is still here. Awesome. And hopefully you are enjoying your CD. And let's play some more music. This next song, we're cranking it back up on this one. This piece is called The Circus of the Serpent. Yeah, I'm really kind of weirded out by the whole red lights thing that's going on. This is 3 albums now that have done this, so I'm just, my mind's like working on like, because once I get the lights set up in Reaper, which is, it's a recording program, and it's kind of like the central program, is the headquarters for everything. The lights are controlled by that, the sheet music is controlled by that, the cameras are controlled by that. And just this one little thing, it's like I put it in there, I set it up, I never touch it, and then it moves. What it does is it moves a quarter note forward in the song. And then for the way the lights are set up, if they overlap, the second one doesn't come on. And I just, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. So my brain hole is just kind of working on that while I'm playing, see if I can figure something. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to give a closer check on the lights on upcoming albums. Where did I put my guitar pick? I need that. So I dropped my other one. I usually have like 4 of them up here, but I only had 2 today. I already dropped one, but I've still got 100 in a jar over here if I run out. So we'll make it work one way or another. This next song, technology, man, so true, Renee, so true. And yeah, it's good though, because without the technology I wouldn't be doing these shows. So it's definitely it's a balancing act, how you use your tech. This next song is, I get a lot of questions about where I come up with all of my song titles. And hopefully I don't sound too arrogant, but I think I got some pretty cool song titles. Most of them come from writing prompts, which if anyone here is not familiar with the concept, it's a little thing like if you're going to write a story, there's sometimes called story starters. And it's just like, here, write a story about this. And I'll go through and just look at writing prompts and just get ideas. And I've got this Word document, text document of just hundreds and hundreds of future song titles. The very first writing prompt I ever saw, it said something to the effect of, a machine has been made that records people's dreams and we can see what we actually dreamed about. It turns out we were forgetting them for a reason. And that was a very cool first, because I was like, that's an awesome concept. And that ended up leading far down the road to this song title. This song is called Why Do You Forget Your Dreams? You know, Renee, I think if we could rewatch our dreams, it would be really cool to, you have your dream. So the dreams you remember, you write it down. Say, this is what my dream was. And then actually watch the replay and see how accurate you were. It could be interesting to find out if we actually do know what our dreams were, or maybe our brains make a bunch of that information up afterward. I don't know. Could be fun. I'm just going to make a note here. Check lights. And I also want to... there was a place my guitar had a mute on it in there that it cut out for a moment. And we got someone on, looks like Nemo, shot something up on the chat there. I only saw it for a moment, some sort of GIF or something. But hey, if you're watching out there, thanks for coming in. I do appreciate it. Okay, just taking a quick note there of that. So yeah, if anyone is coming in here, you didn't see the rest of the show, you're unfamiliar with me, I am the Mad Poet. We are the Mad Poet Society. You are an audience. This is what we do. And yeah, it's fun. And Renee has stressful dreams. Hopefully, Renee, you have fallen very much in my footsteps. For anyone who may not know, Renee is my daughter. She is a chip off the old block. Most dads are like, when they find out they're having a kid, like, I want to chip off the old block. And I'm like, let her be like her mom. And she is just like me. She has so many of my traits. She is just a female version of me. So all I can say, Renee, is that hopefully as you continue to age, which I hope you do that for a very long time, it got better for me. When I was a kid, my dreams were brutal. It was about my parents trying to kill me and my brother trying to kill me. And just for the record, my parents were like awesome. I had the best parents you can ask for. They should be the model for what good parenting is. They never tried to kill me in real life, but in my dreams, man, it was it was brutal. So the nightmares at least got better for me. I hope they do for you as well. And for the rest of you out there, I hope that you are having pleasant dreams while awake and while asleep. You know what we should do? We haven't done it for a while. We should do a poem. We haven't done a poem for a while. Let's do a poetry reading here. Since I am the Mad Poet, so let's go in here, get a little of this, and where is my poetry page file thing? There we go. Pop that up. We'll find one to read here. Oh, can't read. Most of my poems, I think probably a majority of my poems I will never be able to read on here. There's a lot that I can do. I've written quite a few poems. None of my Christmas poems will ever be appropriate. Colors would be a good one, but it is like Colors and Veil. I would probably take me like 15 minutes to read those things. They're huge. There's another one called The Slate. It's really long, but it's probably my worst poem. It absolutely sucks. You know what? Let's do Torment of Souls. This is a good one for today's crowd. Torment of Souls by Randolph the Mad Poet, written in 2756 AUC. And for those who I've always I have always done my poetry dates with Roman calendar dates. So AUC is Ab Urbe Condita, which stands for from the founding of the city, and the city they are talking about is the city of Rome. So 2756, that should equate somewhere in the mid-90s for you normal people. Torment of souls, insignificant desire, quiet voices, and I laugh, a tired sigh, hot, soft love will deepen in solace. Senses broken, mind tortured, misplaced desire. Pleasure was in my voice, my laugh, my body, and my soul is lost. Beyond desire I laugh, The end of anything changes time, but the end is elsewhere. The end is nothing. Man, we are back. Renee says, luckily my dreams are more stressful than scary, but I do get the random terrifying one that messes me up for a day. Sometimes they're just random. I love dreaming nonetheless. I even appreciate the scary ones. Yeah, I like my dreams too. And, you know, it's interesting that ever since I overcame my insomnia, I don't remember hardly any of my dreams. I don't know how much I dream anymore. I still get the occasional, just like, crazy, brutal nightmare. But not nearly so often. Not as many. But there is something that happens fairly often, and it's going to happen now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. Found the right camera. I don't know where the name of this song came from, but it's called A Face in the Window. And I need to call my tech crew out here because it looks like I've got a light. It wasn't doing well. Now it looks like, I don't know, maybe the light's funky. Oh, that looks right. In my screen, it didn't look like it was working correctly. I don't know what's going on. Okay, what do we got happening here? I'm glad you guys enjoyed the F sharp, G sharp minor. Oh, okay, I'm just looking at what the rest of the songs are. Good. We got 3 songs left on the show today. I'm just gonna do the 1 album. One of these days I'll start getting the 2 album things happening again. I do enjoy the longer shows. Song is called The Countdown. Okay, I figured out what was going on with that light song. It was the same problem with the other red light stuff. So I still don't know what's causing it, but I do know how to fix it. So that's good. Unfortunately, it's probably about 20 minutes to fix it. It's gonna kind of re-import stuff. It's not hard at all. A little time consuming. It's not something I can just do in the middle of a show, but. For anyone who may be just coming in, I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you very much for being here, for watching the show, for listening to the show, for smelling the show. Whatever it is you're doing out there, I hope you're doing it well. I'm having a good time. I hope you are too. I'm playing guitar. I've already eaten pizza today, and as soon as I get done here, I'm going to eat some more pizza. So that makes for a pretty good day. Yes, sir, and or ma'am, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are. We got 2 songs left of this album. We are playing my 59th album tonight. This album is called Hard 6, so named after the saying by Admiral Adama in Battlestar Galactica. This next song is kind of fun from a music theory standpoint, from a playing standpoint. It's got some. I think I made some pretty good use of the tritone in this. The tritone is one of the more dissonant intervals that we have in the 12-tone system. So it's kind of nasty sounding thing, but if you use it in appropriate contexts, it can be very good. It can be a very good sound. And so I feel like this has a good feel to it. And it's also in E flat minor. So I use a standard tune guitar. So E flat is kind of 1 fret away from one of the more popular places to play guitar for rock and pop music. And so it gives it an interesting challenge. I like writing in different keys because it does make me look at the fretboard differently and kind of explore around it differently. As I'm doing these solos, this is almost entirely improvised, what I'm doing here. And so yeah, it's very exploratory when you're doing these things. Be like, oh, where do I want to go with an E flat minor? Okay, where are my patterns at? Where do my scales sit? Where do I like to go outside of those scales? And play with things and get different sounds. And sometimes it works really well, and sometimes I hit a note and I'm like, oh, how am I going to get myself out of this one? That's part of the adventure right there. And I think that's, the kind of people who tune into my music, they like that kind of stuff. I was talking with my buddy Steven, who's occasionally in the chat, and he was saying that he kind of feels like when he watches me, because he's a musician, he's a very well-educated musician, and so he'll hear me hit this weird note and be like, okay, let's see what Randy's going to do now to work through this. And he feels like it's kind of, going on an adventure with me. And I know it's definitely an adventure for me. Like I said, I think that the kind of people who are into this kind of music probably enjoy that type of a thing as well. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you're having a good time. So let's do this. Album number 59, song number 10. We got 2 more songs in the show tonight. This one and then one more, because that's how I count to 2. I know, it's just like, Randy, dude, your brain, how does it work? It's just madness. You're like a mad poet or something. You should use that. I know, crazy. All right, this is called, and you may need to check, There's Something Behind You. All right, gangsters, we got one more song for the night. And as I've said before, when I do this particular album, this is one of the songs that I really kind of played this album for. You guys gave me some great compliments earlier about how much you like this album, about the energy of it and the vibe of it, and that's awesome. And I agree that this album I do think has a good feel to it. Most of my albums, I end with a really high speed, just going for it song to kind of crank the energy up right at the end. I went exactly the opposite way on this. This is a shorter song. It's nice and slow. It's got some of my most sparse playing in it, and I just really like the way it finishes out a show. This is called In the Crosshairs. That's the show for the night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. If I missed anybody chat, if I missed any new followers or anything, my apologies. That is never my intent. I do appreciate everyone who is here, whether you're watching, listening, smelling, or what have you. If you're chatting, if you're inactive, if you're active, if you're passive, whatever you got, thank you very much for being here. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. That is the end of the show for the evening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I will be back on Wednesday with the kitchen stream, and I'll be back again on Friday with our normal noon and 8 p.m. Pacific time rocking, and I will see you on the other side.